Welcome you all. Thank you for joining my uh, tutorial. In this tutorial, I am going to test about. Welcome you all. Thank you for joining my. So again, I am just doing the setting. Thank you all for joining my video. In this tutorial, I am going to talk about software testing tutorial. Okay, from the beginning. I just started the tutorial in one video, but that did not have the audio, so I had to restart my entire session. So before that I tested. Okay, so let us begin. If you have joined my video, thank you for joining this tutorial. This is for the testers who wanted to get some familiarity with the testing concepts. About me, I have 30 years of industry experience. Worked in large IT companies, starting from the developer to the delivery head, and also I have started my own company, that is MySys IT Services, and I am offering internship in my IT services company. And I found that many people wanted some basic knowledge on testing, so I just started giving videos required for their start of their skills. It will be a basic for them to take it up, and then based on this they can take it up to the next level. So I am using javapoint.com testing tutorial, and why I have chosen this, because it has a comprehensive testing tutorial, and I found that it is more relevant based on my experience, so that's why I chosen. But there are other tutorials available in Java Point, and tutorials point, and some other w3tools.com also. If you want, you can go through, but after you watch my videos, probably it will give you basic understanding of testing. So uh, it will give you a basic understanding of testing, and then so I have started a internship for the people who wanted to have a or wanted to start their career for a month or 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year internship, and I have many roles available. But in this tutorial I am promoting a manual tester role as a start, and I have developed many sites, and one of the site is software.com, which actually lists all the softwares, and I have listed more than 70,000 softwares in this site, and I will give you an opportunity to test any of the software listed here, and you will get an opportunity to test as a 3 months internship, around 20 to 30 softwares. You will get the opportunity to download the software, and then do testing, manual testing, understand the requirements and do manual testing, and then write a review, and then give me that, and if it is meeting our software guidelines, I will post the particular review in this site, and I will also give you name credits to you, so that you can actually reference as a reference to your testing career for your upcoming job postings. Okay, so that is the purpose of the internship, and if you are interested, send mail to submit@mysys.com, or direct message me at VMR and connect me LinkedIn. Okay, so that is the brief. Let us start actual into our testing. So I have tested I've done 1 hour voice over to this tutorial, but the voice is gone. So let us, I'm doing this again, but no problem. So those who have joined live, okay, thank you for joining, and those who wanted to if anybody has joined, okay, uh, please join the live. Okay, so I made it live, so you can actually join this and then watch my live session. Okay, So let us start and software testing tutorial. This tutorial provides basic, software testing concepts this is designed for professionals and beginners. I agree on that one because I have gone through this tutorial and I just verified based on my experience whether it is matching the requirements and whether it will give a basic knowledge to the beginners or who doesn't have any knowledge and testing. Okay, so you need to come back to this tutorial and repeatedly go through this material and my videos for you to be familiar with the language of software testing. Okay, so let us understand what is the software testing. Software testing is the process of identifying the correctness of software by considering its all attributes: reliability, scalability, portability, reusability, and usability, and evaluating this execution of software components to find the software bugs or errors or defects. So you should get this definition from your heart, right? Like as you see in 3 digits. Otherwise, the interviewers will actually okay. They just want definition, right? They want a definition as written. I'm just giving a joke, okay? But get whatever the definition you see in some of the your trainings and then give that one. Basically, it is to identify the bugs and then we're considering all the attributes which are reliability, scalability, portability, reusability, usability, and evaluating the execution of software components and to find the bugs and errors. Ultimately, if you do that and if you say that there are no defects, then only the project manager will actually take it forward to the next phase. But if you identify the defects or bugs and then give it back, then product is not stable and then the product will not be taken into the next phase. So as we discussed, these are the attributes: reliability, okay, whatever the function which is identified, which is reliable and then working and then it is not crashing, right? Or it is not malperforming or malfunctioning, or and it should be scalable. Your design, if you have design, your design should be scalable, and they should not have any impact on the previous one. And then scalable in the sense, so you should be able to enhance the servers and deploy and then make it with a quick enhancement. Okay, that is also another way of. And portable means you should be able to your design or your software should be able to port it to the other platforms also with minimal time spent. For example, the app which is developed in for example which is actually compatible with Internet Explorer or Edge, it should also work in Firefox or Chrome. So like that, it should be portable, okay, and it should be reusable, okay, and then usability, right? There should be a proper way of navigation, and you should be able to easily understand. And in the usability there are many things like accessibility testing, okay, and then UI testing, UI usability, where you are able to use it. So there are various uh, ways of doing the testing for usability. We will actually do that when we are testing and the types of testing, okay. So uh, so testing definitely is mandatory. Without testing, if you deploy, the products will fail, okay, products or software. So you should test it thoroughly, ensure that there are no defects, and product is software is bug free. Then only you should plan for production deployment. Otherwise, it should be rejected. And you have the right to raise each and every bug. And you are the crucial person in the product development or software development life cycle to test it and then inform to the team that this product is safe, bug free, or with bugs. So what is testing? Testing is a group of techniques to determine the correctness of the application. We discussed that under the predefined script, but testing cannot find all the defects. Okay, it may be implicit. That is why Microsoft, still upgrading. Microsoft is still adding patches, Microsoft or any product. Okay, they keep on updating and then releasing the features during the life cycle of that uh, product. Okay, so but as far as during your testing, you need to identify and give the testing furnishes comparison that compares the behavior and state of software against mechanism, because problem can be recognized by the mechanism. This mechanism may include past versions of the same specified product, comparable products, and interface of expected purpose, relevant standards, and other criteria, but not limited to this. So these are the inputs where testing can be used as a base to do the testing. Testing includes an examination of code and the execution of code in various environments, conditions, as well as the examination aspects of the code. uh, Testing team is a separate team from the deployment team, so that information derived from testing can be used to correct the purpose of software development. See, success of software depends on acceptance of its targeted audience. Each easy graphical user interface, strong functionality load test. For example, the audience of banking is totally different from the audience of the video game. Therefore, when an organization develops a product, it can assess whether the software product will be beneficial to its purposes and other audiences. So now let us actually come back and then do that types of software testing. So we have various types of testings available. Okay, one is a manual testing, one is automation testing. So and then in this in the manual testing we have a white box testing, black box testing, and then gray box testing. We will discuss all this in detail. And then in the black box testing we will actually see that what is the unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and user acceptance testing. And in a non-functional testing, we can see the compatibility testing, performance testing, and usability testing. Okay. So let us actually understand what is the manual testing. Manual testing, the process of checking the functionality of an application as per the customer needs without taking any help of automation tools, is known as manual testing. So you don't use any tools. Okay, right? You understand the requirements and then write the test cases and then test as per the test documents. Okay, and then output the document and keep the log the defect in either Jira or any other bug tracking tools such as Bugzilla. Jira is also another bug tracking tool. We will see that what are the tools to log the defects. So now we do not need to have a specific knowledge of the testing tool, rather than have a proper understanding of product, so we can actually easily prepare the test document. So manual testing can be done white box testing, black box testing, and gray box testing. We will discuss that in further sections when we walk through. So automation testing. What is the automation testing? Automation testing is the process of converting any manual test case into test scripts with the help of automation tools or any programming language like JTest, like Selenium, where we can use them, and then those tasks which actually repeatedly can be done, can be actually automated, and then you will actually save a lot of time doing the testing. So we can enhance the speed of our test execution, because here we do not require any human efforts. We need to write a test script and then execute these test scripts, right? So prerequisites for this automation. Okay, you should have basic understand the basic computer functionality, basic mathematics, computer language, logical operators, all those. Okay, so that is of course you have completed graduation can actually become a software tester by undergoing various testing trainings, as well as various tools to actually take it up. Basic computer concepts will actually give with the graduation will be a qualification for to become a test engineer. So now let us understand what are the testing principles. Software testing is a procedure of implementing software on an application to identify the defects or bugs. Okay. So the testing application or software, we need to follow some principles to make our product defect free. That helps the test engineers to test the software with their efforts and time. Here in this section, we are going to learn about 7 essential principles on top software testing. Let me check whether my audio is you are able to view my audio, right? So I can see. Okay, let us move forward to our tutorial. Okay, let us see. There are around 7 principles there. Okay, testing shows the presence of defects. Of course, exhausting testing is not possible. Okay, that is another one. Early testing is a better way of identifying defects early. Defect clustering, grouping of repeated tests or identifying a top 20 so that 80% defects can be tracked. Pesticides testing, pesticide paradox kind of if you are doing repeated testing and not identifying, that will become a problem. So that needs to be resolved. Testing in a context dependent. Okay, so and absence of error or fallacy. Okay, so this also, these are the principles which need to be followed or verified before actually in your testing uh, journey. So let us see what is testing shows the presence of defects, right? The tester will test the application to make sure that application is bug or defect free, right? So while doing testing, we can only identify that the application or software has any errors. The primary purpose of doing testing is to identify the number of unknown bugs with the help of various methods and testing techniques, because the entire test should be traceable to the customer requirement. So whenever we have prepared the requirements document, right, and after that design document and then coding, after that testing, we need to have a traceability metrics whether that particular requirement has been implemented. We need to see that, and our test documents test also should have the traceability to the requirement specification document, so that the traceability can be detected and properly seen that where we have the requirements identified and traced till testing. So by doing testing in an application, we can decrease the number of bugs, which does not mean that application is defect free, because sometimes the software seems to be bug free while performing multiple types of testing on. But when the time of deployment in production server, if the environment is different, you might encounter various other types of defects. So that is a one principle. Exhaustive testing is not possible. So we are humans, right? That means we can make mistakes, right? So that means there may be defects or hidden defects are, might be there. So we have to actually write as many defects as we have to write as many test cases as possible and do as much of testing as possible. And those test cases also have to be peer reviewed with other person, so that any thought process comes from the other person can be incorporated, or any review comments can be incorporated. Okay, so we need to have a review of test case document preparations and test cases, and then needs to be tested. So hence, instead of performing the exhaust testing as it takes boundary determination, most of the hard work is successful. So we can complete this type of various according to the importance of the modules, because the product timelines will not permit us to perform such a type of testing scenarios. Okay, early testing. So this is the better way of avoiding the defects spilled over to the production. So if you involve the testing and the customer feedback in early stages, we actually tend to fix the critical or important defects, or fix user feedback, and then when the product matures day by day, okay, so your product will be more stable and maybe less defects in the production. So agile model is one way of implementing, or iterative model is another one, which will actually can get early feedback. Okay, defect clustering define that throughout the testing we can detect the number of bugs which are correlated to small number of modules. So some defects, right, which will actually give more defects and their percentage is very less, so you can cluster them and then do it may be complicated or coding or something. So these are this principle is called Pareto analysis, which states that approximately 80% of the complication is present in the 20% of the modules. Okay, So with the help of this, we can find the uncertain modules, but this method has its difficulties. The same tests are performing regularly, hence the same test will not be able to identify the new defects. Okay, so pesticide paradox, this principle defined, okay, that if we are executing the same set of test cases again and again over a period of time, then these kind of the tests will not be able to find any new bugs in the software of. So to get over these pesticide paradoxes, it is very significant to review all the test cases frequently, add new different test cases to be written for the implementation, or add a new developers and then ask them to identify. Testing of context dependent, right? Testing is a context dependent principle, states that what we have multiple fields such as e-commerce websites, commercial websites, and so on. This is there is a definite way to test the commercial sites as well as e-commerce websites, because every application has its own needs features. To check this type of application, we will take the help of various kinds of testing, different techniques approaches in multiple message. Therefore, the testing depends on the context of the application. For example, banking testing. So experts of banking are required. E-commerce, experts of e-commerce people are required. Payment gateway testing. People with the expertise in that payment gateway are required. Right. So absence of errors fallacy. Once the application is completely tested and there are no bugs identified before the. So we can say that application is 99% bug free, right? But there is a chance that application is tested besides the correct requirements. Incorrect requirements, identified the flaws and fixed them in the given period would not help. Testing is done in a wrong specification. It does not apply to the client's requirement. The absence of error fallacy means identifying and fixing the bugs would not help if application is impractical and not able to accomplish the client's requirements. Client has told something, you understood something, you implemented something, you delivered something, then it is a complete failure. Okay, so that has to be taken it very carefully and then get that reviewed, okay, with the customer regularly and get a sign off from customer. So let us go into the next topic, that is software development life cycle. Okay, so this is one of the important topic in software. Every software engineer or developer or tester or designer would know about this software development life cycle, and each software will have a phase, and then everybody will follow software development life cycle. It is a process that creates the structure of development of software. There are different phases within SDLC, and each phase has its various activities. It makes the development team able to design, create, and deliver high quality products. Right. So let us see what are those requirements phase, a design phase, a development phase, a testing phase. This is the phase where we are actually focusing on. A second, next one is a deployment phase, and then a maintenance phase. Okay. So the requirements phase. So in this phase, we actually get all the requirements. We gather all the requirements from the customer, and then a document. So it can be various techniques where the identified team will actually discuss with the customers. They brainstorm, they do the analysis, they do the peer reviews, they do the expectations, other special requirements, product related to the product, they will verify related to all those things are captured and get a sign off from customer. So this is one of the important phase where the requirement specialists will participate and work with the customer to gather the requirements. Design phase. This is the phase where architects will do the job. Okay, like preparing the based on the requirements. They will actually analyze and then come out with the designs like a low level design. Okay, which program needs to be used to develop, what is the environment, what is the architecture, what is the pre-production architecture, QA architecture, what are the servers are required, is it on-prem or cloud or hybrid or like that, and is it what is the database required, which database is required, what is the performance, how do we need to do that, what is the security mechanism we have to. So all those aspects are created, and what is the workflow, sequence diagrams, all those things are created. What is a data dictionary, a structured dictionary, data design documents, okay, object oriented programming design, all those actually will be done in this phase by the architects and designers. Then whatever the documents created, okay, in the requirement specification and then design phase will become input to the build and development phase, where actual developers will start working and doing the coding or implementing them in their development cycle. And they also participate in it has many areas, right, like UI developers, front end developers, UIs, back end design, system design, and infrastructure setup, development environment setup, okay, all those things will be there. And then identifying the software, procuring the software, okay, and then making the environment ready, developing, and then doing unit testing are done as part of this build phase. Next is a testing phase. This is the phase where we are talking, right? You will play the crucial role here. So you will take all those inputs like requirement specification and traceability matrix and then code as input, and then also you will have the QA environment, okay, where the setup is done in the testing environment, where you will actually have that access and these documents. Now you will actually work on preparing the test cases, and then you will also have tools called Jira or Bugzilla to log your defects, and you will also see the bug life cycle, and then you test the applications. You do the integration testing. Developers will do the unit testing, acceptance system testing, and then non-functional testing, and also customers also will do the acceptance testing. These are the various types of testing in this one, in this testing phase. And you will also participate as a manual tester, as an automation tester, okay. And if there are any defects in the software is not working as expectations, then the testing team gives information to the development team in the detail about the issue. If the defect work is sorted out, it will be fixed, and we will verify and close the defect. So that is the we will discuss more in detail. Now comes the deployment phase, delivery phase. So as we discussed, right, there will be a development environment, there will be a QA testing environment, there will be a staging environment or pre-prod environment, and there will be a production environment where and there will also be a user acceptance testing environment. So in these environments, there will be a deployment team where they will actually do the deployments. Okay, and there will be a team where they procure all the environments, and then they will make the environment ready, and then deployment team will actually do the environment setup, and then do that deployments. And once they get it, deployment team will do installation configuration. For the QA team, they will do that in a QA environment. For the development team, they will do that in the development. And then for the pre-prod or staging, for sanity testing, it will be done, it will be deployed in a staging environment. And production, after UAT is done, during the UAT it will be deployed in UAT environment. And then once the UAT and is done, pre-stage for sanitation testing, and then production. Okay, and there will be phases in the development plan, and then you will actually have this as part of your okay. So let us actually see whether I'm able to see my live going through or not, just for my testing. Okay, if live is going, then I will continue. So it is working. So let us actually move back and then understand and go through our remaining. So maintenance phase. This is the phase where we actually see once deployment is over, the development life cycle is over. Okay. Now their job is done. Now the product goes into the maintenance. It is a separate contract, and a maintenance of a product will have a environment maintenance or database maintenance or software maintenance, release maintenance, or a product maintenance, like if a product has a defects and then a product needs a change request or a new feature, so it will be given to the separate team, and it has its own life cycle, and defect life cycle, and a maintenance life cycle, and they will follow that particular maintenance and the maintenance of the product. A product also will have a life cycle. Like a product will be maintained till its end of life cycle, and then product will be made obsolete, or product will be terminated after the its life end has reached. Okay, so now these are all the phases of development, life cycle, right? But this for to achieve this one, there are many development life cycles as it is there. Okay, so the one is a waterfall model, other one is a spiral model. Okay, and third one is a verification and validation model, that is also called V process model, and a prototype model, hybrid model, and agile model. Okay, so spiral model can be attributed to the agile model, but it has its own features. Agile has become uh, uh, important delivery model nowadays, and many customers are asking to develop this, so that it will be based on the identification of features as a stories, and then development will be either 15 days or 1 month, or and testing cycle will be doing that, and the documentation focus will be less, and that testing and verification and development focus will be very high in this, and customer involvement is very high, and there are several certifications available in this one, like Scrum Master, and certified Scrum Master, or Agile practitioner, or like that. And I will also create a Agile model tutorial for as a tester, for you to gain the what is the significance. And when you have joined my internship, I will also give you our testing model will go into the Agile model. Okay, so let us see what is that. Okay, each what are the pages of each water model, each software SDLC models. So first one is waterfall model. So waterfall model, is a sequential linear model, because the output of one stage is the input of the next stage. It is simple and easy to understand, where you see, right, requirements analysis, feasibility study, design, coding, testing, installation, and maintenance. Okay, so every stage, okay, the input we will be taken, and then output, whatever the documents, design documents, coding, are all will be given to the next phase, and it is a sequential, like the drop of water in the rain, right? Like that, it will fall from top to bottom. Okay? It is a top-down approach. So the next model is spiral model. It will actually cyclic and iteration model. Whenever the modules are dependent on each other, we go for this model. And here we develop the application model wise, and then hand it over to the customer. Okay, the different stages of spiral model or iterative model are requirements collection, design, coding, testing. Then it will go in a spiral mode. Okay, so this is enhanced now the agile model, and then it is a agile way. So the next type is prototype model. We will not implement the entire requirements and then take it to that customer and all. First we start with the prototype, take few requirements, and then we will show to the customer that this is the sample of how a product or your requirements look like. If he is happy, then we will actually build on that prototype. Okay, so that is how we get a early feedback. The model refers to the action of creating the prototype of application. Okay, so the next model is verification and validation model. It is an extended version of the waterfall. So waterfall will be top down, right? But if you see, for each phase there will be a verification and validation. Okay, like the V model, if you see that one, and then at each phase there will be a verification validation parallelly written. Testing team will actually parallelly work with the requirement specification and the corresponding verification validation, and then design phase corresponding verification validation. So like that, each phase will have a, a testing model. Okay, we'll discuss that more when we discuss. The hybrid model will have V and prototype, and then spiral and prototype, or whatever we actually discuss in the previous. Okay, so that is about till now. So I am going to stop this. Next topic we will going to discuss about the software development life cycle in the next video. And if you like it, like and share, subscribe, and comment if you want more explanation, more elaboration. But when you go through these entire topics, I think it will take more videos because the concept is vast, and then we'll go step by step. And this I am creating for the people who wanted to do internship, and I want to give them the training on the testing, who wanted to do the manual testing internship for my projects. So if you want to send a mail to submit@mysys.com, or connect me at VMR in the LinkedIn. Thank you for joining, and then